I know some news coming out recently about Terrence Crawford, where he was just in interviews saying a lot of different things, and I'm listening because these are very huge accusations and also things that I actually believe, and there's proof. There's proof to what he's saying in all things. Terrence Crawford don't just go out here and say anything, as people have realized now. They think he's just talking, but he's not. And I know it's going to be a very difficult video for people to understand, so just bear with me. If you don't understand, just keep pushing. But this is some huge news that people will not talk about. I'm probably going to be the only person that will actually try to tackle something like this. But Terrence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao was actually in negotiations around 2014. This is documented. Around 2014, Terrence Crawford said he was already in negotiations with Manny Pacquiao. Now, people will say, okay, what does that have to do with anything? 2014, okay. He's with Top Rank or whatever. What does that have to do with anything? Floyd Mayweather fought him a year later, okay? Floyd Mayweather, all those years that him and Manny Pacquiao was going back and forth, Floyd fought Pacquiao a year later after these negotiations with Terrence Crawford. And the reasons why I'm bringing this up is because people say, oh, Terrence Crawford ain't been in no big fight. He ain't trying to have no big fights. He was in negotiations with Manny Pacquiao in 2014. He has not came out and said specifics, but he says that Manny Pacquiao's team and coach did not want the fight, allegedly. Did not want the fight. And you can go look all this up. I'm not going to, it's sourced out everywhere, trust me. And this is not even the tip of the iceberg, to be real with you. But as far as this, 2014, he was in negotiation with Manny Pacquiao. And we know that Manny Pacquiao was fighting Tim Bradley around that time. I guess word got around that Tim Bradley was getting, I guess, I don't know, beat up by a guy, a sparring partner, who happened to be Terrence Crawford. And I guess when word got around about that, people said, nah, we haven't heard about any guys doing Tim Bradley like that over the years in sparring, so let's go ahead and probably just stay away from that fight. Because you got to think about it. I think Tim Bradley had already fought Manny Pacquiao twice. They weren't going in any direction as far as the Mayweather fight. And people will say, oh, you probably exaggerate. If I'm exaggerating, then why did a couple of fights later, or a few fights later after that Mayweather fight, you had him in that Jeff Horn situation? So they was already looking to go past him, and people, bruh, look, he was going to fight Pacquiao. Terrence Crawford was going to fight Pacquiao in 2014. It didn't happen. Okay, Pacquiao turns around and fights Floyd, then turns around and gets handed off to Jeff Horn. And who does Jeff Horn fight later on? Terrence Crawford. I know what I'm talking about. Trust me. I definitely know what I'm talking about. I don't just get out here and say things about business of boxing if I don't know. The man was purposely blocked for years because he could have been got in the ring with a lot of people, allegedly. He could have been got in the ring with Manny Pacquiao 2014. So he's good enough to be in negotiations with Manny Pacquiao in 2014, but these other fighters for the last 10 years feel like he's not good enough. That doesn't make any sense to me. And this is a Manny Pacquiao who's beating everybody up around the time. And why I believe it even more is because Manny Pacquiao was cleaning house and he was beating everybody. And he fought Bradley 3 times. So there wasn't a lot of options around to the point where it was like, oh, well, Pacquiao don't got to worry about this Bradley fight. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. I'm just saying, because every rematch, every fight he's had, he doesn't rematch every fight. It just doesn't happen. Every loss, he doesn't rematch. That's not a situation where Pacquiao probably could if he was younger, but that's not a situation he was in. But for him to actually fight, and then you got to think about it, Floyd got out the way after that. Not to say that Terrence Crawford was the reason, but I'm going to tell you right now, he's seen Terrence Crawford beat up Gamboa around that same time. Terrence Crawford beat the crap out of Gamboa around that same time. Floyd was, I think he was still cool with 50 around the time. But he knew who Gamboa was, and 50 Cent was promoting Gamboa. Gamboa beat the brakes off of, Terrence Crawford beat the brakes off of Gamboa, and that put everybody on notice then. They knew who he was. They knew who he was. And then people said, oh, Bob didn't want to feed him to Pacquiao. Nah, that ain't what y'all don't know the full story. That ain't, from what I'm seeing, that ain't what happened. Pacquiao's team was like, no, sir, we didn't heard about him. They didn't heard, they went and did their research. They heard other boxers who now speaking up and saying Terrence Crawford be beating the crap out of people. The man has been avoided for a while. But that's all I got though. Like and subscribe.